Welcome to Carlton's Math Corner. Today, we're going to continue our study on integers. At this time, please make sure that you have your math journal, vocabulary packet, and something to write with. So our target today is I can multiply integers. So below, here are some multiplication problems. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the integers that are being multiplied and then look at their products. And what do you notice? What are some patterns? Okay, so here's what I notice. I notice that first thing I notice is that when I multiply two negatives, I get a positive. So for instance, negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16. I notice that when I multiply one negative number, I get a negative answer. So negative 3 times positive 2 would be negative 6. I also notice that in order to get the product, all I have to do is multiply the numbers. So for instance, each one of these above, notice I took 8 times 2 to get 16 and 3 times 2 to get 6. So I'm just multiplying them as normal, like nothing has changed. Okay, so let's come up with some rules. Okay, so here are the patterns that I noticed, but let's write down some rules for multiplying integers. First of all, well, we multiply the numbers. Okay, so that's our first step. So we're going to take just the numbers, don't worry about the negatives yet, and just multiply them as you normally would in a multiplication problem. Okay, second step, we're going to count up how many negative symbols we see or how many signs we see. And the reason why we're doing that is because if you think of a negative symbol, they're just a straight line. But if I take two of them, which is an even number, if I take two of them and turn one of them and then put it on top of the other, look what they make. A positive symbol. And so two negative symbols are going to make a positive. So that basically means every even number of negatives that you see means that the answer would be positive. Okay? If there's an odd number of negatives, let's say there's only, one negative. Well, one negative is not enough to make a positive, and so my answer would be negative. Okay, so remember that. Two negatives equals a positive. Always, you need every two makes a negative. And the reason why I'm saying even and odd is because you may end up multiplying more than two integers together. So you could have like 3 negative symbols, and that wouldn't be enough. That would make a negative answer. Okay, so keep that in mind. Get this memorized. Okay, what I would like you to do is I want you to try these 4 problems. And remember, a dot means multiplication. Even numbers next to parentheses mean multiplication. Exponents or powers, I should say. Powers, remember, means that this number, I like to say it's the sidekick. This is the superhero. The sidekick tells the number how many times to multiply by itself. And so like negative 6 squared means negative 6 times negative 6. There needs to be 2 of them, okay? So no calculators. Try these 4 problems out for tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me at Carlton's Math Corner, and I look forward to meeting with you again.